You know, if you had argued on race, because I believe there was a lot more evidence showing that your treatment might have been based on race, I could have been able to rule different. But you didn't even raise race.
Mhm.
You solely focused on the 1 cent tax difference. And the fact of the matter is, you didn't pay the 1 cent, whether you wanted to or not. The fact is, you did not. And so for that, I'm so sorry, but I will have to rule against you. Can you imagine how hard that was to hear after all that time? And you know, it put such a strain on my marriage, because my husband told me all along not to go forward with this. And he was not supportive through that whole time. And I'm still trying to run a business. And there's competition every day. Any of you who are business people, you know you have to keep on top of the competition. I was distracted. Very distracted. After that ruling, which was very hard, I went ahead and I finished my year out. I had 15 students in my beauty school. They were able to graduate and go forth with their careers. This was 1947. I managed to hang on till, I don't know, the early to mid-50s. But that trial had taken such a toll on me, on my marriage, on my business. All the fight went out of me. I turned my back on all that I had managed to create. Fast forward in the year 2000. My youngest sister, Wanda, had retired. And as a lot of retirees do, we often go back to school to study, to enjoy learning. My sister was in a race relations class, race relations in North America, I believe that's what it was called. She was taking it under a professor, Graham Reynolds. The professor was talking about all of the cases of injustice that had gone on in the past few years. And he got to a picture. The picture was me. And my sister stood up like a pole. And she said, "That's my sister. That's my sister. You're talking about Viola Desmond, who is my sister." And so with that began a partnership between the two of them to clear my name, to get my story out there. And in 2010, it worked. In 2010, May Ann Elizabeth Francis, the first Black Lieutenant Governor of Nova Scotia, issued a free pardon and an apology from Nova Scotia. Yes, Nova Scotia. And it was so fitting that a Black woman would issue a pardon and an apology to another Black woman. It was so fitting. And so after that time, I received a lot of awards, honors, a ferry being named after me, a documentary, a postage stamp. I was named the Historic Person of the Year of 2018. But the thing that means the most to me is that $10 note that I appear on. Number one, it's the most circulated note in Canada. But that note serves as a teaching moment for everyone who gets that bill. Every child who looks at that bill can ask, who is this woman? A black child can say, that looks like me. That's my legacy. The most important thing is when they have that teaching moment, they can tell the story of what happened to me. They can talk about the fact that racism and discrimination destroys lives. It destroys families. It destroys cities. It destroys countries. It is so important the way that we treat each other. Racism is petty. It's mean. It's silly. We deserve better than that. And the last thing I believe that bill says is that whenever we see injustice, racism, sexism, classism, poverty, whatever, we, each and every one of us, must have the courage to stand up. Yes, it's hard. I experienced it, I know that. But we're not going to move forward unless each and every one of us gets that courage to stand up and do what's right. And I want to leave you, as I close, with one of my favorite quotes that talks about the legacy of standing up. This quote is by the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. And it says, cowardice asks the question, is it safe? Expediency asks the question, is it politic? Vanity asks the question, is it popular? And conscience asks the question, is it right? And there comes a time when one must take a position that is neither safe, nor politic, nor popular. But one must take it because one's conscience tells one that it is right. And so that's the legacy